I bid you all a good evening. It's James again, and I really just wanted to share a few thoughts with you today. A few things I've been hearing over the last couple of days have kind of struck a chord with me, and I really want to spend a little time sharing them with you, because perhaps there might be somebody else who might relate to my point of view, or my experience, or my situation. I really wanted to start by saying I heard something today that was very amusing, and it was basically a statement that said, you're not living in a Hollywood movie, and it's so true. My life is far from perfect, and I know this. But at the same time, I realize that where I stand in my life right now is only part of the story. It's a journey. I once heard it said that I am a work in progress. I heard somebody use that quote or expression to describe themselves, and I actually really like it, because I think it's very important that we all accept and realize that this is just a part of our journey. If life is a story, then this is just a part of our journey. I'd like to basically start with something that I heard, as I said, over the last few days, which was, it was a quote that also said, if I can remember it, there were a few actually that struck a chord. I guess the one that really stood out for me, or that I can remember right now, is that the way you do anything is the way you do everything. So basically, I guess what it's saying is, if we view our current situation in life as just one day that's unimportant, a current phase that will, pass when we get to our next target, we may not actually get to our next target, or we may not actually do all that we can do, put our best foot forward and put our best efforts into this part of our journey. And it's important because this is also part of the journey, and what we do today, there are a million possibilities basically from the very position that you stand in and I stand in, or I sit in right now. And what you do today will determine what tomorrow looks like, and the day after that. So today is actually very important. And at times we dismiss what's happening currently in our life, as we dream about what tomorrow or next month or 6 months down the line will look like. So we go through days just by getting through them. We don't actually apply ourselves to make anything different. We keep doing the same things and assume that in time we'll reach this magical, mysterious position that we aspire to be in, even though on a day-to-day basis we're doing exactly the same thing and not actually striving to get to that place. And you know what that kind of means, basically. Things are going to stay the same. The second quote that I heard, or the second statement that I heard today was, I've forgotten it now, it's terrible. It was also a really good quote. It basically said, oh, it's completely gone. That's terrible. I can't remember it. It basically said, you attract who you are. And basically that implied, well, actually I guess I interpret it to mean, if things are happening in your life, or you keep attracting the same type of people, then there's some questions you need to ask yourself about what it is on a, maybe not even conscious, but on a subconscious level, you are doing or thinking that's causing you to attract these situations and these people into your life. So if you always run into people that try to scam you, then maybe there's a question you should be asking. If you always run into people who take advantage of you, then maybe there's another question you should be asking. So that as well I thought was a very powerful quote, and it's something that I've kind of wrestled with for a long time in my mind, trying to understand it. But sometimes we just need to just take a statement on face value for what it means and go with it. So you attract what you are. So if, let's take for example in your business, you constantly attract people who are broke, who never have any money, then maybe on a subconscious level that's who you are, or that's the way you think. So you're always penny pinching and worried about not being able to afford everything. So those are the kind of people, that's the energy that you give out, to sound a bit kooky, but you know, basically, you basically, that's your position as you approach people, so they know and they detect it, and nobody else will really be attracted to you because, you know, birds of a feather generally tend to flock together. And that was the second quote. The third quote I heard was, that things are the way they are because that's how you want them to be. This is a hard one for me to actually accept, try to digest. I'm still working on it actually, but I guess fundamentally it's true, because if you didn't want them to be this way, you would take some different actions to change the way things are. And if you're not taking those actions, then what it basically means is you have accepted and decided that this is what you want. Or, for now, you're unwilling to take any different actions to change the way things are. There's a story about a dog that's sitting on a nail, spends its time whimpering and basically crying, but doesn't move because it's not painful enough. So it's not hurting enough. And that's probably what's happening in our lives, in my life, maybe in yours. You know, whenever we're in a situation where we don't actually do anything different, we stay the same. If nothing changes, then nothing changes. So things are the way they are because that's how you want them to be. It's a bitter pill, it's kind of hard to swallow, but I'm working on it. As I said, I'm a work in progress, so I accept that in my life things can be different, but I'm also very, very clear on the fact that this is only a part of my journey. This is where I stand today, and it will not be where I'll stand forever. And I hope in whatever it is that you're facing in your life, in your day, maybe in your job, maybe at this very time, that you're mindful of the things I've shared with you today. This is only a page, maybe even a line in the story of your life. As Eric Thomas puts it, it ain't the whole story, baby. Anyway, I wish you all an incredible evening. Take care. Start to consciously look at what it is that you do daily to impact your life, to make a difference. What would you like people to say after it's all said and done about you? Where would you like to stand? What would you have liked to have achieved? And then bring it back to what you're doing today. So if you know where you want to go to, and your actions today are not mirroring that, or not in line with that, then guess what's going to happen? You're actually never going to reach that position or that point that you want to get to. Take care. I think I've said enough for one day, and I wish you all the best in your day. Have an incredible evening. Don't forget, one of my goals is to have made sure that I've made you think a little. I've made you question. A curious mind, a questioning mind, an empowered mind. Just imagine the potential. Take care. Bye for now.